You gave her the mug. You guys brought
I've already got a mug.
You cheesy.
By the way.
You cheesy guys. You come to Jamie's house.
I schnorr it. What I will do is have you sign it, and that'll be on my website.
Let's go. Let's go.
Literally. Okay, I'm just going to tell you the truth.
Please.
Borderlands. It was a video game adaptation. Kate Blanchett, Kevin Hart. It was looked good on paper.
Okay.
Game that sold 40 million copies of this game. You think, oh. And we shot in Budapest during COVID.
Wow.
So it was gnarly. It was guys with Uzis on the street. We're in Budapest. You're not allowed to ride in a car with another person. I mean, it was full on gnarly. I find out as we are starting the work that the woman I am playing, who's a character in the video game, has something called objectum sexuality, which means she objects.
In the video game?
Video game, the character.
Dark video game.
Well, it's a dark video game.
The character in a video game objects?
Yes. Well, that not on camera, but you know what I mean.
But how would you know that playing the video game?
Well, because she talks about objectum sexuality. So my point is this. So I'm kind of going to these people like, wait, what? And it turns out that it's a real thing. I did a deep dive. There are YouTube videos of this woman who married the Eiffel Tower, goes to the Eiffel Tower with a film crew and the Eiffel Tower on
Eiffel Tower.
You straddle it and rub yourself till you.
Wait, like
a girder, metal piece of the Eiffel Tower. She straddled, laid on it, writhed on it, and then had it because it's a real thing. It's predominantly women who fall in the reason I bring all of this up.
Yeah.
Because I'm playing someone who has an attraction to inanimate objects.
Yes.
I arrived in Budapest. We were out in the middle of nowhere in these sand dunes, and I saw a piece of wood on the ground. And I'm like, okay, I'm down. Let's go. And I picked up a piece of scrap lumber.
Like what, in the middle of a scene?
No, just as we were like walking to the set.
Okay.
For rehearsal, whatever. I saw this piece of wood. I was like, oh. Okay, I'm into you. You're into me? Okay, let's go. I carried that piece of wood with me everywhere. And when we did the first photo of the group of us announcing that we were in Budapest about to start shooting, Kate, Kevin, Ariana Greenblatt, myself, Eli Roth, the director, and I'm holding this piece of wood because it was the first day. And I have this piece of wood in my arms. I have a charity for children, for Children's Hospital, and everything that had to do with Borderlands, I signed it and put it up on my website in an auction thing. I sold that piece of wood for 400 American after-tax dollars.
No.
Someone bought Brando, it's what I named him, and I signed it. And I wrote Borderlands 2021, 2024. And
have the picture.
I have a picture of me holding it.
Yeah.
Someone bought it for $400. So yes, I will schnorr the.
Jamie, for your charity, I will dance around in a bikini. I will give you.
Can I now tell you something else I've done?
Please. Yes.
Because my husband brought it up to you.
Yes.
I went to our beautiful makeup artist in Ignacia on the Bear. Mm-hmm. And I said to her when they were tattooing Carmen, doing the tattoos every day, I said, are those just transfers? Like a sheet? She goes, oh yeah, I have a sheet of them. I say, we know where they all go now. It takes 5 minutes. It took us like 2 hours the first time. It takes us 5 minutes now.
Sure.
And I'm like, do you think you could print one of those for me? And maybe I could ask Jeremy to sign it? Ooh. And she was like, yeah, absolutely. When that show ends next year, I will put that up on my auction website.
Wow.
I have his entire tattoo collection on a sheet.
Holy moly.
That he has signed. That will bring in some
it's gonna
beautiful money for Children's Hospital. So I'm a schnorr.
Yeah,
I'm that girl now where I would like anything you've touched, I'll be like, Jon Bernthal was in my house. He touched this. Buy it. Yeah. So that's who I'm at. Yeah. That's where I'm at this point in my life. But I like your mug. It's very chic.
That's your mug.
No. Okay, I'll
Yeah,
happily,
your
and it
line.
has my lipstick on it. It's all good.
Let's go. How about that? How about that show? I mean, are you? I just told you I was talking to my brother on the way over here, and I was telling him who I was coming to see, and holy, he was just like so blown away by the hospital scene with you, and he was just like, I've never seen anything like that before. And he said, and he goes, look, I know this might sound stupid, but I've never seen something where they just leave it on someone so long, and there's so much. And he's like, I know that wasn't in the script. She's just doing. I was like, yeah, dude, it's a whole different thing, man. And he said to me, he goes, it really says so much about our country right now. It says so much about the world right now that I haven't felt good about things in the way that I have, knowing that show is so popular. And I thought that was a really beautiful thing to say, that he just feels it made him hopeful that people love that show. He said, it's so sophisticated. It's about normal people. It's not about violence and bullshit. It's so human.
And what I agree with you. What I think is so special is that you could say, well, I'm not a foodie. Like, I'm not a foodie. Like, I grew up on, grilled cheese sandwiches and Lucky Charms.
Right.
Like, that's a flirt. Like, a flex to me is you bring me a bowl of Lucky Charms. I'm like, I'm down with your bowl of Lucky Charms. Yeah. I'll match you with, you know what I mean? Like, that's my language. Yeah. So food is not my language.
For sure.
But you could easily talk about that show and say, well, it's about food. It's not about food at all. Even though the food is such an important part of it. It's just the humans behind the food. It's spectacular. Yeah. It's just about the human condition.
Yeah.
And, we saw each other recently.
Yeah.
And I know, because I have had other people say it to me, being able to see Mike when he was alive, not because you're alive at Christmas, but you're not alive.
Yeah.
To see him alive, to see him firing on his beautiful inner life it made me, it made so many people so happy because you hear about him before you meet him, then you meet him and it's manic, and then you meet him and it's angry, then you meet him, and there's so much of this, what we're here to talk about. Like, there's so much of that illness going on. And it was really nice to be able to spend some time, because every person we know in recovery, every person was a baby, was a joyful, alive creature before the illness took them.
Like, really knowing that in your bones and seeing everybody that at one point what imprints that on you? That, like, where did you learn that the most? Did you learn that becoming a mother? Did you learn that in recovery? Like, where do you see that?
Recovery.
Where do you see the recovery? How so?
Because I had to pull everything. Look, I can make it look good. That's like sort of, you know what I mean? I'm a girl. I can make stuff look good. I can make my environments look good. I can make myself look good. I can make everything seem really good. And the beautiful part of sobriety and recovery for me is the looking in the mirror and realizing you are looking at the problem. You are the problem. You're also the solution to the problem, but nothing out there is the problem. And it's very easy to victimize ourselves and have it be, well, this is happening, and so I'm this. My mother didn't do this, and so I'm like this. I've had, how many women have I heard in recovery talk about the sexual abuse that they suffered? Families. It's awful. It's enough to think you would never, ever, 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 ever be able to be a functioning human.
Yeah.
And they can.
Yeah.
Through the program of recovery. They can actually look in the mirror. They can wrestle the demons. They can put them into their proper place. They can try to figure it out. Maybe they have some good therapy. Maybe they don't. Most people don't. Most people can't afford therapy.
That's right.
They can't afford it.
That's right.
It's a luxury to be able to pay someone to help you untangle the Gordian knot of the shit you've been through. Yeah. But the goal is Recovery is to walk freely. Nobody gets sober to walk with the stone of oppression on them all day. The whole idea is to drop it and say, that was the past, this is now. I have made a decision to walk free from it and walk through all of the pain and shame and terrible suffering to get to something better. And so to me, sobriety is the great wash of freedom.